thought the message was quite obvious.
What is it?
I'm not going to. Hello and welcome to episode 81 of What the Flick podcast. Okay, I'm Susan Ayers.
I'm Patty Smith.
I'm Lon Shima.
George Sanchez.
Okay, and so our movies this week are One of These Days, Leave the World Behind, Nonas, and The Witch, Part 1, The Subversion. This week it will be
Me.
Patty.
Yes. My movie is called Leave the World Behind. Isn't that a song? Doesn't that sound like a title to a song?
Yeah.
And I
Sing a
keep
few
starting
words.
to sing it, except I realize there's no song.
You can write it.
Yeah. Written and directed by Sam Esmail. And it's supposed to be a thriller. And I was really looking forward to this song, hoping it was going to be good. So it's a family is vacationing and they rent a house in Long Island. All of a sudden, all the electrical goes out, all the Wi-Fi goes out, and they're all just wondering what's going on. And then there's a knock at the door. It sounds like every setup for every horror movie, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And then there's a knock at the door. And there's a father and a daughter who's saying, listen, we have to come back to our house because we couldn't get into town or whatever they were going to do. And they're all dressed up, so they're obviously going somewhere. There's two families, so the father and the daughter, the nice ones, as I put it, right? I can never say his name right.
Oh, my.
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali, yeah, that's it.
It was going to be the next Blade, but they got canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The other family is Julia Roberts, who I got to tell you plays such a bitch. I mean, I didn't know she had it in her, but she really does. Ethan Hawke, he's like the family peacemaker. He wants everybody to get along. Their son, Charlie Evans, and their daughter, Farrah McKenzie. So when Julie Roberts finds out, when they say our house, like, yeah, we rented it to you, she gets super suspicious, and she's just so rude. You know what I mean? She could have been nicer about it, but they can't go anywhere. So, and what's his name, Myha'la?
Mahershala Ali. In the movie, his name is
G.H. Scott.
Well, that's it. G.H. Scott, okay. He's trying to, be very polite. And so they said, well, why don't you stay downstairs, you and your daughter? And the daughter is like really ruffled feathers. It's like, this is our house. But he says, they rented it. We rented it to you.
We rented it to them.
Okay, so it goes on and them kind of getting together. Now, you don't really know what's going on. It's just, you just accept their word that it's the end of the world, basically. And I remember thinking that, why do I believe this? This is what I kept saying. And then one day they're at the beach, and this huge tanker comes straight at them, right off the water on the beach. So that's the only clue something's up. I, to this day, do not know why I just believed it. It shows you power of suggestion. So you see all these little games happening. Julia Roberts testing out everybody. And then it does this turn, and tell you the truth, I don't even know what happened. It's like there's a lot of symbolism that means nothing. You'll go, oh, there's a deer. What does that mean? Nothing, right? Oh, the guy's teeth is falling out. What does that mean? Nothing. And it doesn't ever, like your movie, which puts it together, it never puts anything together. So if anybody could tell me what the ending of this movie was like, I'd really appreciate it. The end.
Okay. Well, it's sort of funny because I thought from the way it began, it was sort of interesting. In fact, I thought, knowing you're one of your movies,
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God, it's going to be one of these home invasion movies. Like these people are going to come and kill somebody or something like that, right?
I don't like those kind.
No. Okay, good. But what's funny is that I thought, oh, this is sort of strange. But it did say psychological thriller.
Yes,
so
it did.
I thought, okay, are these people really the owners of the house? I mean, that's when I'm going to when I'm first watching this movie, right?
Exactly.
And then you see, like you said, Julia Roberts' character is so hyper suspicious.
Oh,
like
God,
she doesn't even want them. She doesn't. I don't care we rented this. This is our time with our family, our vacation. But, it's just sort of interesting because once they do, because actually the deer thing was the thing that sort of intrigued me. Because you see Julia Roberts, point out to Ethan Hawke, right, her husband, look, there's deer. Then when you see the little girl look at the deer, and then you see a whole pack of deer in the forest,
right.
I said, okay, there is something odd going on here.
Yeah,
right?
me too.
So it's like, oh, okay, that was unusual. In fact, I actually thought that's sort of creepy in a way, right? Why are all the deer? Because, I like the fact they just show the deer and they're just blank looks. So it's like people just stare, like, what? I really thought, are they going to attack the people?
Me too.
I mean, literally, I have no idea what's going on.
Just for a little action there.
So then as it goes on, you're right. I think what it has to do is you're just looking at the relationships between everyone in the house.
Right.
The kids even, but mostly between Julia Roberts and GH and his daughter.
Right.
Ethan Hawke with the daughter.
Right.
And then the two kids, because even the girl, she's very funny because she's really one of these, I'm assuming one of these kids who just is always online and looking at her iPad or whatever, right? And she's just disappointed because she can't watch her Friends.
The last episode of Friends. Yeah.
Because she wants to know how it happened.
Right.
And then being just as a parent, having to deal with a child who wants the internet, right? And you have no internet, like you said, they hear there was a blackout in New York City, but they still have electricity, and everything. But there's no cell service or anything. So it's just an odd thing. But as it goes along, I think you find out certain things. Because at one point, one sort of like giveaway is you do see Kevin Bacon at the beginning when Julia Roberts' character says, "Oh, I'm going to go to town, buy some food and stuff to take over." Then you see Kevin Bacon there. And I thought, that's odd. Yeah. They just sort of looked at him. There's no exchange. They both stare at each other and then they go on their own way. Then it's like, okay, there's something going to happen with this because he's an actor. He's going to show up again, right?
Yeah, I thought that actually they may have known each other. That's what I where I interpreted that at the beginning of the movie.
Well, that was another thing about the creepiness of the home invasion. That, is he noticing that she's getting groceries? So she's probably rented a place. He's going to follow her. And I swear, as I said, all these things are going in my head as I'm watching the movie.
You should write.
Well, the way they're setting it up is leading almost in that direction.
No, exactly. And that's what I said. It just leaves it really open. So that's why as the movie unfolds, and I have to admit, I wasn't bored during this movie at all. But like you said, I'm just sort of like, what's going on? What's going on? So I think they did a good enough job, especially, and I give it to the actors. I think it's all the actors.
Oh, me too.
Because you're right. Julia Roberts, I thought, she really surprised me of how good I thought she was in this movie.
How good of a bitch she was. Right?
Well, no, but playing drama.
Oh,
I mean, seen her play like Steel Magnolias and stuff like that, right? So it's like no big deal. But this, I thought, this is really fascinating because it sort of brings up, because, the fact that here's this white family, the owners are black, and then she comes in, immediately she's thinking, oh, they're black. Because she's never seen him or knows him. Right. He has to mention by name, I'm GH, but you might know me as George. We exchange emails.
Right.
So she really doesn't even know what the owners of the house look like. And you could tell she does have a built-in racial prejudice there. She's very cautious about certain things. But like I said, as the movie develops, her relationship with the G.H. Scott, and I'm talking about just literally getting to know one another.
Right.
And then his daughter and Ethan Hawke's character, them getting to know each other. It's like, they're really unveiling finally. But then you even see some things with the daughter. Like the daughter thinks, why don't you just kick them out? Give them their money and just kick them out. Because they're obviously very wealthy.
Right.
And obviously, Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts, for them to go and rent that house for a vacation, like a getaway, which was actually spontaneous.
Right.
She just got up one day and said, you know what, we need to get away, this and that. Because she claims she hates people.
She does.
Yeah, she does.
And I think it's real. I think it's really obvious, right?
Yeah.
Because of the way she reacts just to that situation. Yeah. But I found it interesting as it goes along, and like you said, there are the creepiness of like the ship coming up on shore, the deer. There are just weird little things, and you wonder what's going on. and the G.H. Scott character seems to be privy of information because even the daughter says, "Why didn't you tell them?" And so that's another thing about what people are unveiling as
Right.
the story goes along, because
Right.
they don't even mention the ship thing to those
noticed
people,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
until later on. So I actually thought this was a sort of interesting movie. I was not happy with the ending. To be quite honest, I thought, oh, they left it very vague. I mean,
Vague,
not
yes.
not vague actually, but you want some resolution with these characters. What's going to happen?
Right.
To which I think is leave the world behind. Is that literally what the whole movie's about? So I didn't know what to make of the movie as it ended, because I thought, oh, I really would have liked to seen more, But I thought everything up to then, I was entertained. I have to admit, I thought it was okay to watch. I wasn't bored.
The writer said that the end of the world, I keep calling it the end of the world,
Leave the world behind. Yeah.
leave the world behind, is about if we lost and we didn't have technology, what would happen to us? That's what he said he wrote it about. But there's a book.
It's a book.
It would be like Triangle of Sadness. The one that can fish, it would be the
Exactly
leader.
right. Exactly. What skills you have. It's
Right.
like forget about money
It
anymore.
changes. It switches.
Exactly.
And it's always in rich places. They should do it in the ghetto one day.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, because they probably know how to live without, So
And work together.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I saw this movie when it first came out because it was on Netflix, so they're promoting it, and I actually liked it then. And then and then I watched it again. So yeah, I liked it again. I forgot about it, but I like the concept of it. How it's one of those movies that's kind of hard to describe without spoiling it too, because it's going in a certain direction. It's definitely leading you into like I say, home invasion, like the Purge, for the first Purge again. Like what's going on with, and they do it's very Hitchcocky, like a Hitchcock.
yes.
Like I thought the camera shots, the eerie music.
Yes,
And
yes,
then
yes.
even the way they spoke was like in the beginning. Julia Roberts has this speech as she's looking out the window with this kind of eerie music and about people and what we do to each other in society, and that's why I hate people. And then the camera comes closer, and it's just this very Hitchcock thing. And then they go there. So the whole dialogue, everything, I felt like I was watching some classic movie. And just all the things like Kevin Bacon popping up and just the way he is. I see where they're going with certain characters, like he obviously represents a particular kind of character and American character, and so it shows you different characters of which could be political or
But he doesn't go anywhere with it. He kind of leaves it hanging.
leaves hanging, but they kind of shows you the movie kind of shows how people behave in certain situations.
Absolutely.
It would be like which must be kind of like well, since they canceled on YouTube the C word and that happened, and back in 2020. How everybody was grabbing the toilet paper and shoving each other
Oh,
away.
right.
So how Americans behave in certain scenarios. So the first scene with the ship, the boat, the what is it? What do they call those things?
It was a
It was an
tanker.
oil tanker.
Oil tanker.
Yeah.
Taker, yeah.
That was pretty scary. That was, I mean, I can imagine seeing that in the big screen and going, holy cow, that would be so scary. I mean, it was like, that's the first thing that got me. When it's to me, it's like, oh, now we're going somewhere.
Yeah, me
Something's
too.
happening here. Now this is going somewhere else. I didn't know. It's not the Purge. So, and then and it really goes into places that are talks about technology and all that. And so, I mean, it's so hard to describe without spoiling it. But I don't know, you have two Oscar winners here. I don't know, Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali. The acting was just to me, it was a really good movie. It's a solid movie. I enjoyed the concept. Again, the ending did leave it to where I was like, which I wonder if they were going for a sequel after that. They were sending you up for a
God, I
sequel.
hope not.
And if that's what they left you, if that's what they left you hanging, or what does it all mean, Basso? What are you trying to say with it? What politically does this mean with this ending?
What did
Well,
you
see,
think
and
it meant?
Well, see, that's what I mean. I think it's one of those movies where what your mentality is, how you perceive life and everything, you're going to come to your own conclusion
That's a
about
cheap
the
shot.
end.
And I think it's
That's a cheap
I
shot.
thought the message was quite obvious.
What is it?
I'm not going to.
but also the like the things like the deer appear
Tell
like
you later.
like they make it so eerie, and then all these deer pop up suddenly, and the guy makes a point about in Mesoamerican culture seeing a deer means something, which I was kind of looking it up. It's like about follow your instinct,
Innocent.
basically. So, but and then how things being different, how things to different people things are really big. Like to the girl, her inability to watch the Friends final season.
Right.
That's a tragedy, and stuff's going on around her. The movie, all these weird things that's going on.
And nobody understands.
And nobody
her
understands it, but
pain.
Right.
I gotta watch this fantasy show, even though, whatever the world's falling apart, or whatever's going on, Mount Vesuvius is erupting. I gotta watch this ending. So it's relative that the people's tragedies. So, but no, I liked it then. I like it now. The ending, I was like, unless they meant something that I missed with the ending, I say I enjoyed it.
I don't think you missed anything, George.
Okay. As I was watching this film for this podcast, I realized I already had seen this
Really?
movie. Yeah, I had already seen it. And it's an apocalyptic psychological thriller.
Okay.
The thing is, I don't think it hit the mark.
At all.
It's good enough, but everybody is so jaded except for what's his name?
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala.
But also Ethan Hawke. Was it Ethan Hawke? I thought
Oh
he
my
was pretty good.
God,
Ethan
he
Hawke was good.
Okay, no, Ethan Hawke was like such a wimp.
Yeah.
It's like he was falling apart all the
But
time.
see, I think that his quote unquote whippiness works to his favor in a certain situation as the movie goes along, and that's why I said. Is it that everybody needs these type of people to
Right.
run a society?
Right. It's true.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you say so.
Everybody contributes.
Everyone except for Mahershala. How do I say that?
Mahershala.
Mahershala. Mahershala's
GH.
character.
GH.
Mahershala's character. He was the only one. GH got that. I didn't like any of them. I liked him. He seemed to keep his head and keep being human in spite of what was going on around him. He remained nice throughout the whole thing, and he was trying to understand, but he was also nice.
He was civilized.
Yeah. Apparently, the novel has a different ending.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the different.
really?
Yeah, the different ending is much kinder to the daughter, not
To which daughter?
Mahershala's daughter.
Okay.
The other daughter.
The one who
Rose.
wants to
Yeah,
watch
because
Friends.
she,
Her name's
yeah,
Ruth, the character's
yes,
Oh, Ruth.
Ruth,
I'm sorry, I thought it was
yes.
Rose, yeah. Okay.
Because it's like I can't stand any of these people. It's like they're just so awful. I would hate to think this is the end of the world, and these are the people I was stuck with.
It's
They're
interesting. That's interesting.
But see,
because,
I think that's the whole point.
you don't know who you're going to be
no,
stuck with.
I don't think that is the point. I think the point of the movie. Remember all the paper that was
Right.
they picked up,
The pamphlets.
and everything was in a different thing.
Right.
Whatever your fear is, kind of like if you think it's that China's going to get you, or you think the terrorists are going to get you,
Iranians, right.
right? Whatever. That was the point. That was the point.
Is this a spoiler or something? that we
Yes.
have to cut?
Spoiler
No,
alert.
because nobody knows what the ending is.
That's my opinion of what it was. It was like
That's right, I can go
this
beep,
is
beep, beep.
yeah. You can pluck it out.
Well, if they had made that clear, it would have got a bit a
But
good
at
ending.
the end, that the book you would like.
God, I hope so.
Okay, go ahead.
I gave it a 5.
Oh,
You're generous. You're generous.
I'll give it a for the eeriness, the shots, and everything. I'll give it an 8.
because I'm kinder than one. Even though I didn't like it, it's a 6.
I'll give it a 6.
Alrighty then.
Okay, so that ends up. Excuse me, my voice is always going. And please excuse me. So we're ending it for this week. Remember, we have a Patreon, and we have a buy me a coffee, but it's us a coffee. Yeah,
Like us and
like
we also have
us.
buy us a tequila. Oh no, that's a different site.
It's a different site.
All liquor accepted.
But thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
What?